Hey Insiders, we've got a very special guest joining us here today who's recently just graduated from our flagship course, the LMA, which is the Life Mastery Achievers. And she's so graciously coming on here today to share her experience from start to finish and everything else in between. And I guess just before we begin, would you just mind telling everybody what's your name and where you're currently based in the world?
My name's Ingrid Lorraine Kangas, and I'm on the eastern coast of Australia in Jervis Bay, Australia.
Wonderful. Well, listen,
Yay.
like I said, thank you so much for being here with us. Thanks so much for giving us your time tonight, this morning for us, but tonight for you. And I guess just before we dive in, I'm just curious to know, Ingrid, where would you say you were? What was your biggest struggle or challenge that you were facing in life before joining the LMA program?
Um, I think that I would step out to, uh, to really believe in myself and to take that next step with a lot of courage and fear as well, and and achieve some of the things that I absolutely love to do and have really longed to do, because I felt deep down inside there is actually far much more for me to be and to do and give and create. And I found that I stepped out and then I had what seemed like a really huge challenge, and I ended up having to make choices from that. And I was left feeling a little bit, I suppose, a little bit disillusioned, and I ended up very sick as well because I think I had gone through such a challenging time at that time, making that really big step for my life,
Mm.
which was a lot of it was it really required a lot of courage, but it was also a wonderful step I took. And I think when I connected to LMA, I didn't. I really needed to have a reassurance for myself, to give to myself a reassurance, and I was open to grow and learn. And even though for the first couple week or so it was a little bit of a struggle just getting through some feeling sick at the time, I didn't realize that, deep underlying there, I had known it in the past, but at that point in time, love and worthiness and value really came up to, you know, to the real surface for me, in a very, very deep, meaningful way.
Mhm.
And I needed to really find and connect to that amazing value and worthiness and love for just for myself completely. I've been growing in that through my life, but I had no idea at that time that I needed to really take a really, really strong grasp. And LMA took me to a place that was very humbling,
Mm.
because it really, really showed me just how incredibly valuable and worthy and loved I am, regardless of what I ever do, what I ever achieve. And that was just the most precious gift for me in the first couple of weeks.
Wow.
And I think since then I keep going forward in those leaps, because it really has been set out in a way that takes you through this journey of, um, you know, of being very, very exposed, but then you start to grow this strength,
Mm.
and you start to feel like you're taking little steps, bigger steps, and then they become leaps. And it's really quite beautiful. I feel very grateful. I feel very humble, but I feel incredibly grateful because I can still feel that that just keeps happening every day. And I think that that's a continual thing the rest of my life. So LMA has been huge for me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And just on reflection, just curious to know, like, what would you say surprised you the most about the LMA program?
Um, I think that becoming really self aware of not only my thoughts, but my actions on the outside and my thoughts on the inside being in conflict.
Mm.
And I think that learning to really be aware of what I'm thinking, and being aware of belief systems that have come from that thinking are really important to not only relearn but take hold of, that amazing person I am by taking steps to change the way I'm thinking and believing in myself, because there's a part of me that is longing just to believe and take those leaps in all the amazing things that I can do, that I can be, that I am. I really am. It's truly there. And I think that changing those belief systems on the inside, oh my goodness, it really changes the way that you start to see things on the outside.
Mm.
So, not trying to change all the things on the outside first, it really is such a very deep inward reflection and change. And
Nice.
I think that's been amazing, the belief system and changing those things, which I think is only going to continue the rest of my life, to be honest.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
that's
that that just
exciting.
is
That's
a
exciting. Love it.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And what would you say, like for you personally, made you the most happiest or you loved the most about this entire process or this journey of LMA for you personally?
I think for me personally, just connecting to other people around the world that I can hear and see sometimes, that are with the questions and just going on this growth. I haven't felt alone, because I've sometimes felt like I have been alone at times in my journey of well-being, and really truly taking those steps to believe in myself and change the way that I can live my life, because each one of us, I do believe, has an amazing life to live. It really is up to us what we're going to do to take those steps. So I think connecting to other people that were in the LMA really made me feel like there is actually so many amazing people taking
Yeah.
those steps to discover how amazing that they are, just
Yeah.
like I am. And that felt like, wow, that felt like a wow to me. And I think every day, it's just great because I'm part of like something that is actually growing, and there's changes happening in people's lives,
Wow.
and I'm one of them. So
Wow.
yeah.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much, Ingrid. That was lovely. Lovely said. On reflection now, and I know that from what you've said before, even we started this video and LMA, the journey that it's been for you. But what's one thing specifically, and I know there's maybe been more than just one, but what's one thing specifically that has now shifted for you in your life, having gone through the LMA program? What's different, or how do you operate differently now, having gone through LMA?
I get up every day, and then I notice throughout my day, I just remind myself how loved, valuable, and worthy I am and my life is.
Wow.
And I'm just so excited to be who I am.
Wow.
I'm excited to get up and take the step of my life that of becoming more and more free in who I am, so I can be the very, very best version of me for me. And then that means I start to see all the amazing things that's been happening that are in others, because I'm really loving and valuing my life so deeply every day. And I think that's definitely been a really huge, big message for me in
Stunning.
particularly some of the exercises you do. And then it becomes a real pattern that you start to, it really becomes a way of thinking and a way of feeling and a way of life.
Wow.
So that's been huge.
I love your answers to these questions. They're articulated so wonderfully and so effortlessly, and I really do appreciate that on here. How would you summarize Tim as a teacher, facilitator, trainer, Ingrid? What would you say about Tim?
Sometimes he says, like in the beginning, he said, "Oh, you might get fed up with me through the end," but I think that you just become more and more excited about all the things that you're learning. And he's so funny. I don't even know if he realizes he's so funny. I actually would find myself laughing, but I'd find also feeling so incredibly inspired.
Mm,
I don't know how he quite does it, except for the fact that he's gone through his own development to
yeah,
where he's at now. But the answers to questions and the way that the course is put together and he delivers it is just, it's just truly inspiring. And I feel that he becomes such a part of your life that you feel like you're part of a family.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
What would you say, or who would you say LMA is for? What sort of people, what sort of individual is LMA for?
Look, I believe it's for every human being. I think everyone has been gifted the same equality, love, worthiness, and value. And there are so many people in this world that are truly hurting from their journey. And if they were to invest in the growth and the love, self-love for themselves, what they can have from that is it's indescribable, because they will discover the amazing person that they are. I believe every human being has that gift given to them. It
Mhm.
just becomes a choice whether we invest in ourselves to discover how amazing we are. Yeah, so I think it's for every person that's willing and listening and open,
Mhm.
yeah, to receive that.
Beautiful. And last but not least, Ingrid, just to wrap it up here as well, having gone through the experience and like you say, you wake up every day knowing how loved, worthy, and blessed you are, right? What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about going through LMA? They're like sitting on the fence, they want to change their lives, they're ready to transform, but they haven't stepped forward yet into becoming a part of the LMA family. What advice would you give to those individuals who are thinking of joining LMA?
I would say, um, please invest in you, because today's the day that you're alive, that you have that gift of life. And in some cases, as we've all experienced, we don't know if we're gifted tomorrow. And today's the day not to waste any more of that time. I've gone through things myself, and when you realize that you lose those you love, you realize today's the day to love your life, to invest in you, and to go forward living the very, very best life that you can have now. It's not next year or next month or next week. It really is today.